During the daytime, perfect fair-going weather. I was able to stop and talk with people who were enjoying all the fried food and the ice cream and the lemonade, including two really sweet women, Jawny and Patricia Masengale. One was the granddaughter-in-law of the other. Patricia's family has been coming out here to the fair since 2006. They camp out. I mean, there are people who actually come to the campgrounds. They stay the entire time, the entire 10, 11 days of the Iowa State Fair. It's become a tradition for their family. And they actually had a lot to say about what Iowans want and what Iowans need from the next GOP nominee.
What would other Americans need to know about Iowa that maybe they don't?
I think Iowa is a friendly state. They pitch in and help one another when needed.
When people think of Iowa, they think of a lot of white male, pretty stereotypical, but it's actually a very diverse state.
So tell me about, what do women in Iowa care about?
Equality and things like that for women, and just, I feel like in Iowa we're not looked down upon maybe as other places, but...
What do you mean by that?
I don't know, as a woman I feel pretty respected here.
What are the things that you're paying most attention to?
We've lost a lot of the old-fashioned values, I feel like.
What kind of value?
Respect. I don't like to see some of our candidates bullying each other. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear what they're going to do for us.
Being a teacher, definitely education. Just especially rooting for public schools and making sure that we're getting the funding we need, especially in low-income communities. I work in a very highly populated Hispanic school, and it's really changed my perspective. I was kind of raised thinking, immigrants are coming over and taking our jobs, and that's what I heard on the television and things like that. But really, especially, having a high population of Hispanics, they are such hard workers and so respectful and things like that. And it just breaks my heart to see people say that they don't belong here.
What's one thing that would spark your interest if you heard a candidate talking about it that you would say, wait a minute, I think I like them?
I like that some of them started at the ground level and worked their way up. It wasn't handed to them.
And just somebody who is very open-minded and, able to hear what people want and what people need and what they deserve.
I had so much fun talking to those ladies. It was interesting because they spoke about diversity here in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm sure there are a lot of people who live outside of the Midwest who wouldn't exactly describe Iowa as diverse. There are about 10% of the population that is African American, about 15% Hispanic from the census data that I found. My Uber driver works for the Census Bureau. That's interesting, right? And she actually told me she's a resident of Chicago. She moved here to find a quieter pace, a safer quality of life here in Iowa 3 years ago, and says she absolutely loves it. And it was interesting. She happens to be African American. We're driving to my hotel, and she says, Adrienne, she's like, it is quieter here. There's less traffic. There's not as much to do as Chicago, but people are friendly. Everyone's been nice to us here, and there is no racism. That's what she told me. Ladies. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.